Okay, let's dive in. You know that feeling, right? You walk into a room, stand there for a second, and just blank. Why did I come in here?
Oh, totally. Or you bump into someone, you know their face perfectly, but the name, gone. Just vanished.
Exactly. Or worse, that sinking feeling when you realize you missed an appointment you swore you remembered.
It happens to all of us, really. And it's natural to have that little flicker of worry, isn't it? That thought, uh-oh,
Mhm.
is this the start of something? Dementia.
It really taps into a common fear. But here's the hopeful part. Based on all this material we looked at, the big message is pretty clear. Dementia is not just a normal, inevitable part of aging.
Right. And the sources actually put a number on that hope. The World Health Organization suggests, get this, up to 45% of dementia cases could potentially be prevented or delayed.
45%, that's huge. Nearly half. And we're not talking about complicated medical stuff here, are we?
No, not at all. It boils down to making some pretty simple shifts in everyday habits, things anyone can try.
So that's our goal for this deep dive then, to really unpack these sources and pull out the 5 key, easy-to-grasp habits they identify for keeping your brain sharp. Consider this your practical guide.
Exactly. Actionable steps you can literally start today. No prescriptions needed, just awareness and a little effort. So where do the sources suggest we start? What's habit number 1?
Okay, habit number 1, it came through loud and clear in the materials, move your body every day.
Yeah, exercise. It pops up constantly as one of the absolute best things for your brain. The why is pretty intuitive, really.
Yeah.
Movement boosts blood flow.
More blood flow means more oxygen, more nutrients getting to those brain cells, right? Keeping them active and healthy.
Precisely. And I saw that reference to Harvard Medical School calling regular exercise one of the most powerful ways to slow down brain aging. It's not just fuel delivery either,
No, the sources talk about how it strengthens the actual connections between brain cells.
and even potentially helps grow new ones,
Hmm.
which is just, well, incredible when you think about it. Exercise literally helping rebuild your brain.
It really is. So what's the target? How much movement are we talking about?
The sources give a clear guideline. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week.
Okay, 150 minutes. Sounds like a lot.
Well, they break it down. It's basically 20 to 30 minutes a day. And moderate can be as simple as, say, a brisk walk.
Right. And for anyone listening thinking, ugh, exercise, not my thing, the material has good news.
Oh, yeah.
It explicitly says starting this helps even if you're well into your 60s or 70s. It's genuinely never too late to get brain benefits from moving.
That's so important. And exercise here is broad, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
not just hitting the gym.
Not at all. Walking the dog counts. Dancing around your kitchen counts. Even just stretching or marching in place while you watch TV.
So the main takeaway is consistency over intensity, especially at first.
Exactly. Do something active daily. Start small, maybe 10 minutes. Build up. Your brain really needs that blood flow.
Okay, so body movement is key. But what about keeping the mind itself firing? That leads us to habit number 2, right?
Yes. Keep your mind active. Challenge it regularly. Like exercising a muscle, basically.
Makes sense. Use it, or, well, maybe not lose it, but it certainly helps to keep it strong. So what kind of activities count?
The sources list things like reading, writing, doing puzzles, but also, crucially, learning something new.
Ah, the new part. Why is that so important?
Well, it seems to build up what the research calls cognitive reserve.
Cognitive reserve.
Yeah.
Like a buffer, a backup system for your brain.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, a backup. The more you build this reserve through mental effort over your life, the more resilient your brain becomes. It helps you stay sharp as you age.
And the sources suggest it can even delay the symptoms of dementia if they do start appearing later on.
That's what the research indicates, yeah. Pretty powerful stuff. I saw those findings backed by the National Institutes of Health, older adults who regularly did mental activities like reading the paper, playing games, writing letters. They had a much lower risk of Alzheimer's.
But you mentioned learning something new is maybe the best kind of mental exercise?
Yeah, the sources emphasize learning something unfamiliar. Why? Because it forces your brain to create totally new connections, new pathways.
Ah, okay. So it's not just reinforcing old pathways, like doing the same type of puzzle every day, although that's probably good too.
Right, it's about stretching the brain. So maybe tackling that new smartphone, or trying a musical instrument for the first time.
Or painting, or even gardening if you've never done it before. Things that feel a bit challenging outside your comfort zone.
Exactly those kinds of things. And it doesn't have to be super hard, just engaging, maybe even fun. Summarizing a news story for someone, learning a new card game.
Those count too.
Yeah.
And again, like with physical exercise, it's the consistency. Even just 10 minutes a day of focused mental effort seems to make a real difference over time.
Building that reserve bit by bit. Okay, so we've covered moving the body and working the mind. What about fuel? Habit number 3.
Right. Eat well for your brain. The sources are very clear. What you eat day to day really impacts brain function, memory, focus, the whole deal, and definitely long-term health.
And there's one diet pattern that keeps coming up in the research they cite.
The Mediterranean diet, yeah, consistently pointed to as one of the best for brain health.
So let's unpack that. According to the sources, what are the key features?
It's about focusing on lots of fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, getting protein from fish and nuts, using healthy fats like olive oil,
And what does it limit?
things like red meat, definitely processed foods, and trying to cut back on high sugar and high salt stuff.
That Harvard finding was pretty compelling, wasn't it? People sticking to that Mediterranean style had fewer signs of Alzheimer's in their brains.
And showed slower brain aging overall compared to those eating a typical Western diet. It's a noticeable difference.
So, practical tips. How do you actually do this without making it complicated?
The sources suggest simple swaps. Add more veggies to your plate at every meal. Snack on nuts or fruit instead of chips or cookies. Use herbs for flavor instead of salt.
And drink more water. That came up too, instead of sugary drinks. Seems basic, but probably makes a big difference.
Absolutely. And there was also that interesting point about how you eat.
Oh, right. Not just what, but how. Like not overeating.
Exactly. Eating slowly, chewing well, stopping before you feel really full. The idea is it helps keep your blood sugar stable, which is better for your brain and body balance.
So it's not about a super strict diet in the restrictive sense, more like a pattern of making smarter, brain-supporting choices most of the time.
That's the feel you get from the sources, yes.
Mm.
Small, consistent choices add up.
Right.
Okay, moving to habit 4. This one is about removing something harmful.
Quitting smoking. The sources are really unambiguous on this one.
Completely. Smoking doesn't just hit your lungs, it directly harms your brain. It narrows blood vessels
Reduces oxygen supply.
and damages brain cells over time. It's pretty stark.
And that World Health Organization statistic really drives it home. Smokers having a 1.6 times higher risk of developing dementia.
Yeah. But, and this is crucial, the sources also bring really good news here.
Yet.
Quitting helps, period. No matter your age or how long you smoked. The benefits for your brain start almost right away.
Really? That quickly?
That's what the materials suggest. Blood vessels start to heal, blood flow improves. The brain has this amazing ability to recover once the damage stops. It gets stronger again.
That recovery potential is huge.
Yeah.
And for people thinking easier said than done, the sources offer support ideas.
Definitely. Talk to your doctor, look into programs designed to help you quit, use aids like patches or gum if needed, and tell your friends and family that support network is key.
Makes sense. The core message seems to be the sooner you quit, the better the outcome for your brain.
Absolutely. Okay, final habit, number 5. Also about reducing intake of something potentially harmful.
Cutting back on alcohol.
Right. And this one might challenge some folks because you sometimes hear that a little bit is okay, maybe even good.
Yeah, the red wine thing.
Exactly. But the sources we reviewed take a pretty clear line, specifically for brain health. Drinking less is almost always better.
Okay. And the reason why. How does alcohol affect the brain negatively, according to this material?
Well, heavy or frequent drinking can damage the parts of the brain that handle memory and decision-making. Over time, the research suggests it can actually shrink brain tissue.
Shrink brain tissue. Wow.
Yeah, and increase dementia risk. That study mentioned about heavy drinkers in middle age.
I remember that one. More than twice as likely to have cognitive problems later.
That's the finding they highlighted. Pretty significant.
So what are the recommended limits based on the experts cited?
They suggest no more than 1 standard drink a day for women, 2 for men, and ideally have some alcohol-free days each week.
And they define a standard drink, clearly.
Yes, like 1 normal glass of wine, 1 can of beer, or 1 shot of spirits. It's important to know what counts as 1.
And the point isn't just about avoiding getting drunk, right? It's the cumulative effect.
Exactly. Regularly going over those limits, even if you don't feel intoxicated, can still impact brain health over the long haul.
So tips for cutting back, similar to smoking maybe.
Kind of. Try consciously slowing down your drinking pace.
Yeah.
Alternate alcoholic drinks with water, or maybe sparkling water with lime. Find non-alcoholic drinks you actually enjoy, like herbal teas.
And let friends know you're focusing on health.
Yeah, that social support again. Let them know you appreciate their backing you up. It all comes down to protecting that vital organ. Your brain's with you for life.
Okay, let's pull it all together then. 5 key habits emerging from these sources.
1. Move your body daily. 2. Keep your mind active, especially learning new things.
3. Eat well, focusing on that Mediterranean-style pattern.
4. Quit smoking, absolutely critical. And 5. Cut back on alcohol.
And the payoff. That statistic about combining these habits was really striking.
Wasn't it? People who managed to practice at least 4 out of these 5 habits had a 60% lower risk of developing Alzheimer's.
60% just from these lifestyle factors. That's incredibly empowering, actually.
It really is. And the underlying message seems to be, don't get overwhelmed. Start where you are.
Pick one thing, maybe. Go at your own pace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe ask a friend to join you. Just keep at it.
Yeah.
Consistency is the name of the game.
Your brain really is counting on you making those choices.
It sure is.
You know, looking at these 5 things together, movement, mental activity, food, avoiding toxins like smoke and too much alcohol, it just underscores how deeply linked our physical health is with our mental health, doesn't it? Our brain's well-being.
Absolutely. It's all interconnected.
And maybe the real power here is in how these seemingly simple everyday habits, when done consistently, can shape our long-term future so profoundly. It makes you think. What's one small step, just one, that you feel you could start with today?